I used to have a checking account with less than $100 in it most of the time. 25 days out of the month, I didn't have enough money in my checking account to fill my car with gas. On payday, after my direct deposit, I'd have a couple of $1,000s in there. But later that day, after I wrote the checks for rent, the car payment, gas and electric bills, our cable and phone bills, and made a run to Costco for some food items to get us through the month, there would be about $90 left to last us through the rest of the month. Does that sound familiar? Then, when something unexpected came along, like the car needs new brakes, or I need a filling in a tooth, or the dryer dies, the budget was dead. That usually meant borrowing money from my parents or a friend. Not something I like to do, because I really had no realistic way to pay them back. Well, I'm sure you can identify with what I've just described. But it must have gotten your attention or you wouldn't still be here. Well, this story has a happy ending. A very happy ending. Take a look at my Citibank checking account today. This one account has $2,432,383.44 sitting in it. Yeah, it's all mine. No, I didn't rob a bank. I didn't do anything illegal or unethical. I earned it. I know that's hard for you to comprehend, but please stay with me, because it was not that long ago that this same account was overdrawn half of the time. Now it has over $2 million in it, and it's growing all of the time. My monthly bills don't even make a dent in the profits that roll into this account every month. Hi, my name is Bill Drysdale. Now, if you'll stick around with me for the next few minutes, I'll give you a complete description of how I went from practically broke to comfortably wealthy. And believe me, you want to hear this, because you can follow the exact same route that I took. And I'm going to help you get there quickly by jumpstarting your journey with a piece of software that I will give you for free. I'm going to give you the opportunity to have your bank account busting with more money than you ever thought possible. Here's my Bank of America account, another $1,237,550 in it, all generated using a piece of software, all generated in binary options. Look, I'm no genius. I'm no computer whiz. I don't have a bunch of experience in binary trading. I simply found a way to automate many of the tedious, time-consuming tasks that ordinary traders spend hours doing, allowing you to multiply the daily profits you're able to make exponentially. Look at this. I set up a new account with my broker yesterday morning. I knew I'd be making this video today, and I wanted to grab a few screenshots to show you. I put $500 into this account. I fired up my software and told it to make the next quality trade it saw. Within 30 minutes, the account was showing a balance of $950. I set the software to automatically make 4 more trades throughout the day, and I took the family to the beach. At lunch, I checked back in, and the account was already showing $1,710. We had a great day. The weather was beautiful, and we found about 120 sand dollars. When we got home, while my wife started dinner, I checked my account one more time and saw $4,570 sitting in the same account I had set up yesterday morning. That's a profit of over $4,000, more than I used to make in a month. And I made it while I spent the day at the beach with my family. Can you even imagine? Wouldn't you call this a profit sensation? Of course you would. Well, that is what it's called. Let me tell you how this came to be. It all started 2 years ago when my brother Alan got laid off from his job at the insurance company. He'd been there 8 years, so they gave him a little severance package, enough to last several months if he was careful. Well, my brother actually is very careful with money. After searching for a job for several months, someone he knew told him that he had started trading binary options. Alan looked into what it would take, bought a simulator program, and practiced for about 3 weeks. He then found himself a broker and opened up an account with $200. By the end of his first week, he had turned that $200 into almost $1,000. He called me up and asked me to come over and check out what he was doing. He was pretty proud of himself. So I watched him work. He had obviously learned quite a few things in a short amount of time, and I actually saw him make a few trades that made him a fairly healthy profit. But I also noticed that he spent a lot of time checking various signals, watching a series of charts and graphs, basically multitasking like crazy before he saw a condition where he was ready to trade. I asked him how much time he was spending on this, and he said, "Well, basically all of my time. You have to be continually monitoring all these indexes and trends to know when it's the right time to make a move. So I'm sitting here at the computer 10 to 12 hours a day. But I made a profit of almost $800 last week." I wasn't sure whether I should be happy for him or feel sorry for him. He seemed to be so proud that he had turned a profit, but he didn't realize how tired and worn out he looked. He seriously looked like a guy that needed a vacation. And he said, "Bill, you really should try this yourself. You can use the extra money." And he handed me a disc with the software. And I almost said, "Alan, I don't have 12 hours a day to devote to this. I've got a job and a family." But I didn't. I just thanked him and went home. That same week, my son Josh got a job at the Apple store in the mall near our house. I went over to visit him at work a few days later and saw that Josh was working with a guy he had gone to high school with. He was a total computer nerd, but a nice kid. His name was Victor. They were showing me some of the crazy gadgets that were for sale in the store. They have thermostats you can attach to your heating and cooling system in your house, but control from your iPhone wherever you are. They have light bulbs that can change color and intensity. Again, all controlled by your mobile device. They have little race cars that run around a track, all controlled by your phone so that they never crash or hit each other. It's amazing. As I stood there and listened to them describe the way technology can control just about anything in your life these days, I thought about my brother's software system. I asked Victor if he was still doing any coding, and he said, "Absolutely. I've been working for a number of companies on the side, taking systems that they've been using for years and helping them automate and streamline them so that they take a fraction of the time." I asked him to take a look at the trading system my brother had given me, and he said he'd be happy to. Victor came by that evening, and I showed him the system and told him that it worked well, but was very time-consuming to use. He said he'd take a look, and he and Josh went out for the evening. A week later, when Josh got home from work one evening, he said, "Victor really wants to talk to you. Here's his number." So I gave him a call, and he told me some stuff that I didn't really understand, and he asked me if we could be partners if he found a way to turn that software I'd showed him into a game changer. Of course, I said sure, even though I had no idea what he was planning to do. Well, another week later, I was about to leave for work one morning when Victor showed up at my door. He seemed really excited and said that he really needed to talk to me. He said, "Do you guys have any coffee? I've been up all night, but I had to show you this." So I went to get him a cup of coffee, and he sat down and fired up his laptop. The first thing that appeared was a very simple interface. He said, "Mr. D, almost every part of that software you had was automatable. I went through and extracted all of the major components into one of my open source programs and started setting up systems to handle all the time-consuming parts. This thing is a game changer. You're not going to believe it." Well, he was right. I didn't believe it. So he said, "I'm going to show you something that is going to blow you away. First of all, we need to set up an account with a broker." Well, I've done some serious research and have found an awesome broker. I'll tell you more about him later, but for now, let me put $200 in here so you can watch what happens when we fire up the software. So Victor set up this account and put in $200. Here you can see at the top that it was 8 a.m. on the dot. He fired up the software and started showing me how simple and easy it was to use. You didn't need to monitor anything. His systems were already doing that. You didn't need to watch for alerts. The system did that too. In 15 minutes, we checked back in his account and there was already $375 in it. We spent the next hour chatting about the things he had done. Most of it went over my head, but I didn't care. I just watched in amazement as he kept going back in and checking his account as it grew and grew and grew. $650 after just 31 minutes, $900 after 45 minutes, and in just over an hour, he was sitting on $1,725, a profit of $1,525.10 in just 1 hour. I said, "Wow, that's sensational." And Victor said, "That's what we should call it, profit sensation." So I said, "Let's do it." Now this was just a couple of years ago. Look at Victor's account now. $1,138,793.40. Needless to say, he doesn't work at Apple anymore. We became partners in ProfitSensation.com. We share the software, and we both make millions. Just try to imagine what that feels like. I work a grand total of about 10 minutes a day. I set up a couple of new accounts, log into the software, and follow a few simple instructions. I then go out and do things that I enjoy doing. I golf, I help around the house, take my wife shopping, I watch sports with my buddies in my man cave. I spend my days doing what I want to do, while the software steadily dumps large profits directly into my accounts. Well, now we're down to the good part. How would you like to have a chance to use the software too? Well, Victor and I have decided to share the wealth. Since you were lucky enough to find this page, and you were patient enough to hear how this works and how it came to be, we're going to give you the opportunity to get access to it for free. We're not going to ask you for a penny. We want you to see and experience the power and profit potential of this revolutionary system before you ever take out your wallet. We'll let you use this system absolutely free. Then, after you've made your first $10,000, we'll ask you to pay the nominal fee to purchase your exclusive lifetime license. That's a hell of a deal, wouldn't you say? That's like someone handing you the money to buy the very thing you want. Nothing out of your pocket. You make big profits before you're asked to pay a penny. How would you like to have 4- and 5-figure days? How would you like to make more in one day than you used to make in a month? Look at this screenshot. A few days ago, the software made a total of 8 trades in just one of my accounts that made a total profit of over $5,250 in one account, in one day. And I started the day by setting up this account with my broker and starting out with $600. My broker is awesome. Now, just in case you didn't know this, you have to pick the right broker to work with. This is absolutely critical. A lot of these guys are not regulated, and they'll basically tell you anything to get your money. This is an industry that is swarming with unethical guys. They'll try to draw money out of your account or refuse to make transfers for you when you've made a profit. It can be the most frustrating thing in the world. I've read countless horror stories online about guys who can't get access to their money because their broker continually tells them that they're experiencing technical problems in their system, or that they missed an option deadline or some bullshit excuse. Well, lucky for me, Victor's dad is a broker. I didn't know that at the time I was working with Victor on the Profit Sensation software, but I found out later that was how Victor was able to get up to speed so quickly on the different parts of the system that he needed to automate. And being one of the good guys, he turned Victor and I on to a number of really upstanding guys who play by the rules, help me make money, and have totally gained my trust. And lucky for you, I'm going to give you a list of honest, helpful brokers to choose from. So from here on in, this is ridiculously easy for you. After you enter your name and email in the form below, you're going to be taken to a secure page where you can download the software, register as one of our approved users, then watch a video with clear step-by-step instructions on how to set it up and get started. From there, you'll be taken to a page where you can select one of our pre-qualified brokers and set up your account. Then you can start trading immediately. I suggest you fund your first account with at least $250, but remember, that is your money. You can get to it anytime you want. And you can add more later to this account or additional accounts. Once your account is open and funded, you can begin profiting with the software almost immediately. Go ahead and start small just to give you peace of mind. But as you see the profits begin to roll in, you'll want to ramp it up because the more you put in your trading account, the higher your profits will be. So let's get started. Leave your wallet in your pocket. You won't be asked for a credit card. You won't have to log into PayPal or set up a bank transfer. All you do is access the software, set up your trading account, and away you go. Then, once you're sitting on a nice profit of at least $10,000, you can acquire your lifetime software license. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't pass it up and click away. You have nothing to lose. If you leave, I guarantee this page will be gone when you realize your mistake and try to come back. Take me up on this amazing offer. Follow my simple step-by-step instructions. Your life is about to change. Call this your reboot, your awakening, your 2.0, whatever, but call it your new future, your profit sensation. Fill in your information, and I'll see you on the next page.